Hello and welcome to PAXTON Road TV. I nearly forgot it was PAXTON Road. Of course I know it's PAXTON Road. Welcome to PAXTON Road TV. I am Sam Spurs for Life, and this is your preview show for the game Tottenham Hotspur, obviously, versus Brentford tomorrow, and kickoff 7:30. Are we on, did you say what, Amazon? We on Amazon Prime for that, or we just...
We're on Amazon tomorrow, yeah.
Ooh, good shout, good shout, good shout, good shout. Let me just sort this out. We've got things getting across us. But anyway, before I start, like, subscribe, share, comment. Please hit that like button for PAXTON Road TV. We love your support. We appreciate all the support we get from you guys. We couldn't do this without you. Thank you for all the members who have joined us. Thank you for all the super chats, etc., etc. I'm joined in the house by specials. These are special guests here. We've got at the top, we've got Hurley. We've got Hurley. I'm going to call him Hurley, but he's now calls himself Shawnee Spurs 61. I like that name change. And of course, down in the bottom, but always on top, it's Deji Spurs. Welcome, gentlemen. How are we doing?
We're fine.
Yeah. We ain't played yet.
I'm okay.
Unbeaten for 4 days.
Yeah. I'm all right. Could be better. I think the weekend was a blessing, guys. Actually, Christmas came early on the weekend.
Yeah, facts. Yeah, I was the same, Deji. I was like, you know what? After that, and I said we wasn't going to mention about them all, but we have to. After that Moura performance, I was like, right, this is a new low for even Spurs here. And I think that Conte interview after the game, man looked shell-shocked. I ain't seen him like that before. He looked like, Jesus Christ, I know what I've got myself into, or I don't know what I've got myself into, but I'm just going to tell it like it is. And I think that was the refreshing thing. You know, we would have had Nuno maybe saying, oh, well. No, Conte said it like it was. These players ain't good enough. This is a bigger job than I thought. I'm not sure what's going to happen, but we have to work a lot harder. So given that, Deji, then, and we're going to talk about this game, I know, but let's touch on how you think the team are doing. It's another London derby, yeah? I'm not sure if we've won any London derbies so far this season. Yeah. Crystal Palace, we played Arsenal, we played Chelsea. Who else do we play? I'm sure there's somebody else in there as well.
Do we count Watford?
I mean, we could, but I mean...
We won 1-0 anyway, though.
That's stretching it short. Even though I think we're going to stretch that. We can try and stretch it out, but that's not a London derby for me. Yeah, that's but the real London derbies that we've not played well. So, you know, what are you expecting, or what Spurs are you expecting to show up for a midweek game against Brentford? Never been in the Premier League before, Deji. Knowing what we've done already this season, you know we've got Conte. What are you expecting from tomorrow's game?
Yeah, thank you, Sean and Sam. And you know, first and foremost, I just want to say that if Conte had been watching PAXTON Road before he joined, he probably wouldn't have been as shell-shocked as he was last week. But that's another story. Look, it's not financial advice, but if I was a betting man, I'd stick 3-0 Brentford. Simply because in the London derbies this season, we've lost 3-0, and that's just the fact. Look, Brentford play some sexy football. They just don't seem, you know, Ivan Toney, I rate him. I think he's a half-decent striker. They're still finding our feet. However, Tottenham Hotspur is a disgrace. I realise now more than ever that we'll be lucky to finish in the top 10. I can see Brentford turning us over tomorrow. And let's be real, if you look at the Leeds game, that was a below-par Leeds side. And we, through to give Conte credit, those players are busting their balls. And that's about it. That's what got us over the line against Leeds. They were busting their balls. They were playing for their contracts. But that can only last so long. The wheels are falling off. And we saw it last week with that Moura result. And for me, I think we're going to see more of the same. I think Conte needs to go in and he needs to buy 5 or 6 players. We know where I mean, for me, I just want to quickly just say, I was saying to the guys, and one of the reasons why I wanted to be on the show tonight, I know there's a lot of Tottenham fans watching this show right now who was absolutely gutted that the game was called off this weekend. Me, I was on cloud 9. I was... Because it's better to look at us in the table with a game in hand than to have the same points, same games played as everybody else, knowing we would have just lost to Burnley. We lost. Okay, any team that is relying on Ben Davies in your back three up against.
But Deji, don't you think he's been one of the better players for Conte so far?
And that's what scares me. You're not saying that Ben Davies has been one of the best players under Conte. Then we have really that's really.
I knew as soon as you was coming on tonight, it was going to change my whole mind frame. It was going to change my whole mindset. I was doing well, and now I've been brought back down to reality. Reality has hit me like
only
really
6 minutes in as well.
It's 6 minutes in, and Deji Spurs has gone and done that, which I expected, but I just didn't expect it so quickly. Anyway, continue, Deji. Let you carry on.
Yeah, so I'm looking at that lineup. Sanchez, Dyer, Ben Davies up against Woods. Are you joking? And then we've got Skip Højbjerg. And then we've got Lucas Moura. I've been saying it for a while. I'm going to say it again. He looks like Roadrunner without a head. He's Roadrunner without a head.
Yeah,
I just don't know what he's doing. So what Conte's realised, and look, you got to understand, he's been there now about a month, and that's the team he put out against Burnley. That team was going to get spanked 2-0. 2-0. That team's not scoring against Burnley. So I think he's realised now that this team is garbage. If Ndombele and Dele Alli cannot start in this dead Tottenham team, then Dele should get to Wigan. And Ndombele, I'm not being funny, mate, we should send him back to France because he can't hack the pace of this league. So for me, guys, it's Brentford to win 3-0. It's not financial advice. But if you're a betting person, that's what makes the most sense.
Jesus Christ. That's all I can say. I have to use the Lord's name in vain, or his son at least, because that is an opening to the show. We're not even supposed to be talking about Burnley, but we have. And financial advice, people, is coming from Deji Spurs below. We've got Spursy 141, our own Judge Jodi saying, on my way home, and Deji really put a dampener on my day. Is Deji an undercover guru or what is Sam Lee said? He's not. He's a true Spurs fan. He really is. But I think he's talking sense at times. Definitely talking sense about that Burnley, because I wasn't looking forward to that Burnley game either. I'll be honest with you. I'd kind of thought in my head it was going to be a bit of a draw, you know, if we was lucky to get away with that because of the performance on Thursday, because he didn't have enough time, because of the way that he's thinking, who the hell can I play? And that's what my thoughts were. But let's bring it all the way back. Bring it all the way back now that Deji's had his say. And I'm glad that you had your say because we can continue on. Dust myself down. Sean, are you going to bring some balance back to the show? Talk to me about Brentford. What do you expect Brentford to bring to the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium tomorrow?
What they're going to bring is a fresh approach, like all newly promoted teams. They've got a reputation of banging the ball in the box, but they also seem to be able to transition very well. They're very quick. They've gone to a back three this season and seem to have bought well again. I'd love to know, you know, how they, well, it's obviously well documented how they get their players. They do, you know, they use data almost as much as Liverpool do. And yeah, Deji's right to have be a bit concerned about tomorrow night. The only thing I would say to row back on what Deji was saying for Sunday was there were significant missing players from the Burnley team, and they would be breathing a sigh of relief that they're not gonna, you know, that they're gonna lose them for a lesser game than playing Tottenham Hotspur.
Yeah,
I mean, you know, that they did. Tarkowski was going to be missing. Ward was going to be missing, and two others, I think, as well. So I'm not saying that it would have evened it up, given that, you know, we've got a central defender who's now nicknamed Bambi, and he was about to audition on an ice rink. But yeah, I do think it. You know, I you know, in retrospect, I felt that we might get at least a draw against Burnley. At the time, I was thinking, please just call the game off, and I was quite happy that it was called off. But who knows? Who knows? It's you know, and this game's going to be replayed sometime in March or something next year. So We'll see. We'll see. But to Brentford, they're going to pose us some problems. That Tony is a baller, an absolute baller. And the man who didn't make it at Newcastle went to Peterborough, and Brentford's talent scouts spotted him. They got rid of Watkins. They got rid of other players. Ben Rama. They brought Tony in. You wouldn't think that they'd missed them.
No,
He's going to give us. He's going to give our centre backs a hell of a game tomorrow.
and they play direct to him, don't they? They play direct to him. He's one of. I think if I look back, he's one of the ones. I think he's very, very close to the top for winning aerial duels, or at least attempting aerial duels this season. And there's a reason for that, because he does well. They put the ball up to him. It seems to stick. He seems to win these headers. He seems to win these flick-ons. And he can put the ball in the back of the net as well. A dangerous combination for someone who's...
And he plays.
Oh, yeah. And he's only new to the Premier League this season. So, it's good. Is he a player that we should have maybe thought about picking up? Or do you think that he wouldn't have probably made that because of the fact that we've got Harry Kane in our setup? Deji, what do you think about that?
Yeah, no, I think that's a good shout. And I think, why not? Harry Kane is not going to play every game. Sometimes Harry Kane needs a break. We tried, Vinicius. We've tried Soldado. We've tried all of these guys. But yeah, I think an Ivan Toney, if we went in for him, I think he would have. Look, Brentford's been dismantled. I mean, the guy that went to West Ham, Harmer, and then the other geezer, we could have taken Ivan Toney, and I think he would have been a more than worthy replacement. But I'm remembering also the game last season under Mourinho. Let's be real. Cast our mind back to the Carabao Cup, the McDonald's Cup. They gave us a run for our money.
Semi-final, yeah.
So in that so for me, it's more of the same. Now they're even used to the Premier League, and they're gonna be up for it. When they played Liverpool, it was anyone that can go toe to toe with Liverpool, you should be afraid of. Now, Brentford are going to come to our beautiful stadium that everybody who seems to turn up wants to play sexy football in, against Tottenham Hotspur, and go toe to toe. And dare I say it, is Skips and Højbjerg going to be able to go toe to toe with that Brentford midfield? The answer.
You know what, Deji, it's going to be interesting because we'll talk about the team. We'll touch on the team as well. I don't know who he's going to play tomorrow. I think Højbjerg and Skip are pretty much nailed on, in my opinion, for that two places. But it's whether or not he decides to play the three that we've seen in terms of Moura, Kane and Son, or maybe slightly tweak it because it's a home game, and I'm hoping give Ndombele just that chance again. If he plays tomorrow and was to do in a similar way the similar performance that we had against Moura, then I think it's safe to say that this guy is not going to do it at Spurs. Under the managers that we've already seen, he's going to be a fits and starts player. I love the guy. I'm so, I'm a talent man. When I see talent like that, it shouldn't be wasted. But talent alone does not make you a great footballer. He needs other things. And we probably don't know all the story about what goes on behind the scenes, but there's definitely something which is affecting him playing like how I see him play for Lyon. When he played against Man City, it was mad. The brother was like on serious sauce. Let's have a look at this. This is what I want to share with you two today. Not that, but this. So far, we're in 7th place. And as you said, Deji, a couple of games have been played yesterday. Hasn't affected our position, but none of those just below us in these places have played. Obviously, we see in the game tomorrow, Man United versus Arsenal, and there's a few other games going to be happening tonight, which may have affected us. But we are in 7th, and 2 games in hand after tonight's games go ahead. If we were to win this game against against Brentford, and then obviously at the weekend against Norwich, realistically, how do you think our season could progress from there? Because 2 home wins on the trot, we're only 4 points off West Ham, who are currently in 4th. Do you still see, I'll ask you to you, Sean, do you still see a top 4 as a realistic opportunity for us if we take advantage by winning these next 2 home games?
That we'll be in serious trouble if we don't take the 6 points in the next 2 games. we will be in serious trouble. I don't think a top 4 is achievable this season because we're not going to be able to rebuild, remold, reinvigorate this team in January. We might tweak it a bit, and I think the scale of the job has became absolutely, scales must have fallen from eyes come last Thursday. Just how done some of the players are. That was, to go back to Ndombele, who you were. I was a big Ndombele fan, but Thursday killed it for me.
Yeah.
If there's ever a team that Ndombele should be dominating, it's a team in the lowest ranked team left in Europa League, Conference League.
Facts.
And what did he do? Nothing.
Yeah.
Come on. I admire your defending the guy, and obviously if he's picked tomorrow, he'll get my support. But do I expect anything from him? No. I don't see us getting top 4. To answer your original question,
okay.
I think 6 is the best that we can do this season.
For me, I'm just picking up on Sean's point. Just quickly on Ndombele, I just think the Premier League is too intense for him. I think he is a baller. I can see Ndombele doing well in La Liga, doing well in Serie A, where the game's a lot slower. But in the Premier League, where it's high intensity, high press, his body is just not made out for that. He can't do it. And I think that's the problem. But he is a talent, and I think he just needs to play in a slower league. I was having that conversation with Marlon Bashman. The question is, can Spurs finish in the top 4 if we win the 2 games? Yes, but there's a but. The first thing, we've got to win the 2 games.
That's the biggest but for me.
After that, we can't finish 4th with that current squad. That squad can't. Mate, we'll be lucky to finish 14th with the team.
He's killing them.
That team, rubbish.
Big call.
However, if Conte gets an opportunity to bring in 5 players in Jan, and we can kick on from there, then yes, why not? I think 4th is up for grabs, but not with that squad. We need a centre-back to partner Romero. We need somebody else. This Højbjerg and Skip thing is pissing me off. We need somebody else in that midfield. If he's going to play 3 at the back, then we need 2 players, because Ben Davies, for me, is just not cutting it. And then we need somebody on the right, like a Rafinha, like a Zaha, an actual ball-playing, someone who's on the kind of same wavelength as Son and Kane. If we can bring in 4 players in those positions, then I can see us doing something. The other thing I just wanted to quickly say is that the current squad does not suit the system. I don't think we can be playing 3 at the back with what we've got. And what I would like to... Nah, come on, nah.
Do you know what? I said that as well. I was like 3 at the back. I'm not a big advocate of 3 at the back. It's, for me, you see some teams play, but you really have to really work well with the centre backs, i.e. one of them needs to do more as opposed to just be a centre back, i.e. bring the ball into midfield, being able to play a little bit more comfortable. Dyer thinks he can do that, but I don't know if he's actually that player. Romero, I think, could have been that player. He's now out until possibly February next year. We don't know how the extent, but it's definitely out until the new year. I'm struggling to see how our centre-backs in this back 3 are going to be able to be fluid enough to be able to accommodate that part of the game. I want to see, if you're in that back 3, like what you see Rudiger do for Chelsea. Man. I see my man in the box. Come on. I know Ben Davies has done it a few times, but I'm not confident with Ben Davies actually making the biggest fist of it when he gets there. But he's at least trying. And I know we've slated him. I've slated him many a times before. But if we can get them to adapt to the system, I think he's going to continue playing it, because that's what Conte does. But you're right in what you're saying. With the current set of players, I'm not sure whether or not it's going to work out. And maybe Conte might need to think about something else potentially. Do you agree, Sean, or do you think that it's going to be a case of we're just going to have to fit the pieces in the puzzle that we've got? We haven't got Romero, as we've talked about. We are now choosing out of Tanganga, Sanchez, Dyer, Ben Davis, Rodon.
I mean,
what do you see as the back three?
West Brom. West Brom, that is. Say those names again. Sorry, Sean. Say those names again.
Yeah, I'm a.
I'll let Sean go. Let Sean go.
Sorry.
I think I am a 3-5-2 man. Actually, I quite like that formation. I've liked it ever since I saw Hoddle play in the middle of a back three for Swindon, and he was a QB. You know, that's what we want. You know, in the middle, someone who can ping a pass, can bring the ball into midfield. As you say, I think the best player for that on our current squad is Romero. He's not available to February probably.
Well, this comment here from Craig,
some reason.
I'll just read this comment here from Craig. Sean, sorry to interrupt you. Sounds like a grade 3 hamstring tear, so that's a 3-month out plus. It never heals 100% either. I've had, I think it was a grade 2 on my hamstring, and that was, and I said I'm not a professional footballer. It took ages, and my hamstrings have never been. Raheem will probably attest to this. He's on the Arsenal Armory. He'll tell you this. My hamstrings are never the same. So a hamstring injury, you can get it back, but I just think it's a psychological thing. When you're sprinting, you're turning, it's a psychological thing. Now, whether or not he can get over that sort of thing, I hope so. But when someone says they've had a grade 3 tear, hamstrings, oh, it's not nice. It's not nice. Sorry, Sean.
No, that's okay. I mean, that kind of explains a lot about our number 20, to be honest, given his history, his recent history.
Good point. Good point.
What was I saying? Yeah, I mean, I am a fan of 3-5-2. I you know, at a push 3-4-3 is fine by me. But I don't, as Deji said, I don't think we've got, you know, it's perm any three of them, and you know, just hope at the moment. The only one, I mean, to be fair, I think Dyer hasn't done the worst of jobs this year. Sanchez can have one, you know, he could have 2 or 3 good games, and then he has a Mura. And it's more of a Mera rather than a Mura.
But that's the point. He seems to have,
you know, and that's the problem. You know, if you need to, you know, you need to be inside their heads to say what Sanchez is going to turn up this week. I've got a feeling he's going to be picked tomorrow. I think he's not going to be. I don't think he's going to be too far from the Burnley team that was announced at 1 o'clock on Sunday. You know?
I don't think we're going to be far off that team. And with the Sanchez thing, I was off Sanchez after the back of last season. I was like, done with him. You can go. See you later. We kept him, obviously. And then I saw a little bit of green shoots in him, you know, even with the old manager Nuno, a little bit of green shoots. And then when Conte's come in, I've seen a little bit more, thinking, you know what, going to give this guy a chance. And he's played okay. But the problem with him, Sanchez for sure, he plays on the left-hand side. We know he should never have played on that left side of a 3. 100% never. Conte probably thought to himself, let me try it out. I don't think we'll ever see him on the left side of a 3 ever again in terms of Conte playing him. However, the mistakes he made against Moura, even if you don't play on that side, should never happen. We're levels above them. We supposedly levels above them. And he made the same mistake twice in that game against that level of opposition, which tells me I ain't confident when we come up against Premier League opposition, the likes of Liverpool, which we've got in a three weeks' time. He's going to get made a mug of by Salah.
Well, you know, Colombia stopped playing him. So in international, he just goes for the fly. He goes for the Sanis, to be honest with you, on the flight, the plane. But that's what he's got, because he's not starting for Colombia anymore for that very reason. Do you know what I mean? And for me, I was just thinking as you were both talking. Apart from Son and Kane, are there any clubs fighting for our players? We can't get rid of our players.
It's too comfortable.
We have to let go of Aurier. Yeah. Nobody wants Winks. Nobody wants our squad. And that is damning. That's when you know you've got problems, when no one's putting in bids. So what Levy has is a problem where he can't actually shift the dead wood in our team because we've got so much dead wood. So for me,
that's really good based on a local story up here, Deji, because the story that's broken up here is that Tottenham have demanded £10 million off of Celtic for Cameron Carter-Vickers, and they've just gone, what?
How much? How much?
10 million. 10 million.
well,
And that's like 6 million and 2 add-ons of 2 million each.
What are they adding on? Pizza? A packet of crisps?
No bloody idea. But I mean, to be fair, the boy's done well up here, and Celtic would take him, but that is ridiculous. 5 million tops is I would say.
Levy's in
tops. And that's including any add-ons, you know?
Listen,
I mean, you know, it just goes to show the old, you know, Levy interfering if he set the price. I can't believe that, you know, with this is the problem.
Yeah, you're right in what you're saying. Nobody seems to be coming in for bids with them. But as well as that, they don't want to leave. They don't want to leave. What? Because if they were really wanting to, someone like Winks, I know we've heard some stories about, oh, he might want to go here. He hasn't really. He's not come out in any interviews or made any interviews to suggest to me that he really wants to leave because it's very comfortable. We've talked about it off air. Hotspur Way is comfortable. It's very, very plush. It's nice. You come there every day to work. You're thinking, I don't have to. Imagine you go to work. You don't have to really work, but you're still getting paid a lot of money. And then you can sit and watch other people work. What would you do? I would be exactly the same. I'd come, I'd train. Oh, I'm not playing. You know what? I'm not that bothered. I'm not going to make for England squad. Let me watch. Oh, he's not having a good game. That's exactly the attitude some of these players have got, in my opinion.
Sam, you hit it on the nail because actually before I came on the show, that was the one thing I was saying that was missing in our team. When I look at Tottenham Hotspur, that starting 11 against Burnley, the thing that stood out for me was we are soft. That's why I think we're going to lose to Brentford tomorrow because we are soft. There is no grit. There are no fighters. The only fighter we had was Romero and he's bloody injured. But everyone else are a soft touch. And if you want to be in the top 6 of the Premier League, you need fighters on the pitch. And we don't have one. And that's what's scary. I look at Brighton. Can you imagine? I'm looking at Brighton and I'm looking at Trossard and I'm saying, we could do with a Trossard. I'm looking at Armstrong at Southampton saying, I don't know, you know, I don't mind a little Armstrong. I don't mind a bit of Armstrong at you know, at Hotspur Way. I'm looking at Dunk. I'm looking at...
Deji, stop now. You've done enough damage already. Stop now. You can't mention man's like Dunk.
Basuma?
Oh, God.
Yes.
I'd have him. I'd have him. You know who I like as well? And we're getting off a little bit.
Basuma, I take.
I like Gallagher
anyway.
Crystal Palace.
Gallagher
Crystal Palace. I rate him. I rate him highly. Rate him highly.
It's not financial advice. 3-0. You heard it here live and direct.
Do you believe this one here? We should have sold Winky, because that's what he's now called now by what's his name? Conte, to Man City for 40 mil. 40 mil. Yes. If any team was to come up with 4 mil for Winks, I'd be like, get him out now. 40 mil? That sounds like dreamland to me. Sean, 40 mil. In hindsight, and this hindsight is a wonderful thing, but should we have taken 40 mil if that was on the table?
Yeah, hindsight is 2020, and I'm the one with the very focal lenses. You know, I mean, I mean, to be fair to Winks, I've probably got a bit of a soft spot for him because he's a Spurs fan and he's got to do the thing that I would love to do, and he's come through the academy, blah 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 blah. But he's no good enough. He's not good enough for us anymore. I think he's been done by that ankle injury. I think he's got the same injury which did for Moussa Dembele in the end. And his best thing will be to go into the sunshine of Spain, where I think he's got Spanish members of his family, go and play in La Liga for, I don't know, Malaga or something, and just enjoy his career. Maybe become a bit of a hatchet man like Vinny Samways did in his later life. You know, 9 red cards or whatever it was he finished up with. And you know, just enjoys football again, because you know, I don't wish it on him, the guy. I just want him to be able to play football and not feel pain. which I clearly think he does.
Yeah.
But he's done for us.
This is the
He may love us, but if he wants to play football seriously, he needs to go to Spain.
This is what I'm saying. If he really did love us as Spurs, I get it. I get if you're, local, you've come through the academy, you're playing for the team that you've supported as a kid. You're low. I get all that, but at some point, he must be thinking to himself, you know what? I'm not going to make it here. Now, if you're a footballer, we've seen it with the likes of, I know Jack Grealish is a different level, but there's players who said to themselves, you know what? I've got to move on. Not necessarily because he was playing badly for Villa. I'm not getting into that sort of stuff, but he knows he had to move on. The loyalty for staying at somewhere like Villa for Jack Grealish, he could have had anything he wanted there. But no, he said, I want to go to Manchester City, prove it. I know that they're winners of the Premier League and they're going to win trophies. I get all that. But still, his ambition was, I'm going to go there to challenge, because he's not always playing. He's not guaranteed to be a star, even at 100 mil.
Yeah.
Harry Winks ain't guaranteed to start many games from now until time ends, really, at Spurs. But I don't see that sort of, I want to get back into the England squad. Same with Dele Alli. I want to get back. They're not wanting to do that, so they're comfortable. And we've talked about it. But this from Harry Payne is what I wanted to just read out. I'm sick of overpaid mercenaries draining the finances of our club. And Romero and Lo Celso, along with Ndombele, are taking the piss. I'm not so sure about Romero. Why Romero's in that as well? But I agree with some of the other ones. They are taking the piss.
Me neither. No.
But let's get to this part of the show, because we've done 30 odd minutes and we've slated our team. We've got to get onto the score predictions now. We're going to do this. Right then, let's see really, because Deji's already been spouting off what he thinks the score is going to be. Are you going to stick with this, Deji? Come to you first. Score predictions, please, for tomorrow's game.
Look, my heart says 2-1 Spurs because I'm a Spurs team, but my head says 3-0 Brentford. And I'm going to stick with the 3-0. You heard it live and direct first.
Right.
The level of subscribers are going to go 10 right, sorry, excuse my French.
There's going to be wanted posters for you down the high road at Tottenham. Deji Spurs.
Deji Spurs. He's going to be
wanted, dead or alive.
He's a wanted man. So Deji, I'm going to give out both them predictions. Deji said, with his heart, it's a 2-1 to Spurs. But his head's telling him, because he's our financial advisor, his head's telling him 3-0, but you didn't hear it from me in terms of the financial advice. You do what you want at home. Gambling, be aware. 3-0, 2-1. I've got you both down for that one. Right then, Sean, here we go. What's your tomorrow's score?
Well, my crypto coin, Bitcoin speculation is, my heart, that is 2-1 to us. My S&P 500 is probably 2-1 to them. So I'm going to go with 2-1 to Spurs.
Oh, what? So we're doing this now.
Because I can't vote against my heart.
We're doing these things now. You're gonna have to. So I'm gonna have to do this one. I'm gonna have to do a heart and a head one as well without financial advice. Right? Okay. So my heart's telling me that I think we can do this game. For me, Brentford, it's a London derby. I think the players themselves should now be focused on the fact that they're at home. They've had a couple of extra days rest in there. They didn't have to play at the weekend. All the smiley pictures. Conte's had
double
a few
sessions.
More days. Double sessions. He's had a few more chance to instill some of his tactics, his philosophy, his mindset into these players. I'm hoping that we can come out and show this. Obviously, team selection is going to be a major thing, but I don't care. We should be able to put out a team against that Brentford, who I'm still going to be classing them as a championship team. I don't care what anybody tells me. They're still a championship team. They ain't really got a load of players in over the summer that's going to make them into, you know what I mean, a real Premiership team. If they stay in the division, they probably build on it. Right, all that being said, I'm going to go with my heart, a 3-1 Spurs. That's a real heart there. 3-1 Spurs. But but right, okay. I have to put myself comfortable in my seat. I can see a draw with my head because I think that, you know, we have only scored, I think it's 12 goals and conceded 12 as well. No, we've conceded 17 or 18 because our goal difference is -6. Brentford have scored 17 and conceded 17, and they've got 0 goal difference. That said, that's why I think every team is likely to probably score against us because our goal difference is shocking. We don't score a lot of goals. Is this a chance to turn it around in this game? Yes, it is. Do I see that us keeping a clean sheet? No, I don't. So for that reason, my head is saying a 1-1 draw. I'm going to go with a 1-1 draw. That's what I'm saying in terms of 2 scoreline. But remember, I said 3-1 firstly before people start giving me grief as much as they're probably going to give Deji grief.
Well, we both went 2-1, so first before we got real.
That's an indictment. That's a real sad indictment club where on using our heads, because that's the logical part, none of us have gone for a Spurs win.
It's terrible, isn't it? It is terrible. We really, but you know what? After the shocking thing is after seeing some of the performances at home and in the London derbies and accompanying that with the last week performance of Mora, it doesn't make us confident. I don't feel confident until I see who's playing and I see how we start the game. Then I can say, okay, I can see the patterns of play. But when we started some games, we just looked lost. And that's even Conte looked a bit lost in that interview. He was like, it almost seems to me it's like, I don't know if I can do anything with this lot.
But that team he put out.
For me, the key thing is to stop to the game, Sam.
Yeah, 100%.
That's Conte's strongest team. Anyone else, it gets worse. If he brings on Justin Timberlake at right back, I'm going to smash my screen. Yeah? Worse. So for me, does that team against Burnley that he put out, would that if you see that tomorrow before we leave right now, are you confident that we will win with that 11?
I'm not confident, but I will say we should win that game tomorrow. We should win tomorrow. We'll play. Don't forget, Brentford are. I can't remember where they are in the league. I'll go back into the thing just to see where they are. I'll tell you where they are in a minute. Did I get them on the thingy? So they're not even in the top 15. Oh no, sorry, they're 11th. They're 11th. I lie. So having played 30, like I said, they've scored 17 and conceded 17. We've scored 11 and conceded 17.
If they win, they go ahead of us, don't they?
So they're on 16 points. We're on 19 points. If they win, they go ahead of us. Yeah, 100%. Facts. But we have to be. I
hope I'm wrong.
Listen, I hope I'm not. I hope I'm wrong with a draw. I don't even want to see a draw. We have to win tomorrow. These next 2 games at home, Brentford and Norwich. We can't ask for games. We're not playing any top 6 teams. We've got an opportunity to claw back something on this top 4 race that we're still in.
Well, I wanted to just share something quickly. So I'll be on tomorrow's show. But just so you know, I was thinking ahead for my Fantasy Premier League, and I was thinking to have Kane as triple captain on the weekend. But let me tell you this. If we don't win tomorrow, I am removing all the Spurs players in my Fantasy Premier League team. I kid you not. So that's another a little trick there. Triple captain for Kane this weekend against Norwich if you're following your Fantasy Premier League. However, if we do lose, take him out. Take him out.
I think we'll leave it on this last comment from Harry Payne. Ain't no clean sheets at Spurs. Nothing but shit-stained sheets at Tottenham. Our whole defence needs to get the F out of my club. And wow, how positive has this show been today? No, we're real on this one. And folks who are watching, we're not always like this. But I think we've just been, given some rough rides over the last few years. A few years, not even a few months, but a few years. So, yeah, nothing surprises me at Spurs. Nothing surprises me. I hope that these guys, you talk about Justin Timberlake, a.k.a. Matt Doherty. No.
He's got tomorrow.
No.
Matt Doherty, Justin Timberlake. That's a good one.
Has to go. He cannot play he can't. Anyway, before we get into doing this again, I'm going to come around to all of you, both of you, I should say. Deji, final words. Are you confident over the next 2 games for Spurs getting 6 points? I'm asking an obvious question, but I'm going to ask it anyway. What's your thoughts on the next 2 games if we get the 6 points.
Look, if we get the 6 points, then it's game on. Like I said to you, why not? We can get top 4. I think the 4th position is up for grabs. However, not with that squad. I would like to see us get 4 players at least in Jan. The one thing I can say about Conte is he's got gravitas. You can see that the players are trying. You saw that in the result against Leeds. Yeah, the Mura game, I'm going to take that as a bad day at the office. But he doesn't have the players, and we need to give him the tools. If we give him the tools, he can do a job. So I think, but if we don't win these 2 games, then, yeah, that's it. I don't know what to say to you. I can't say anything apart from it's just it's bad time.
We're getting pelters on the comments from some people here, but I understand why. It's funny as hell. But yeah, this one here from Sam Lee at Craig, he's even more negative than Deji. Laugh out loud. People are giving us pelters out here. Sure, if we win these next 2 games, what do you then think about us going for this top 4? I know we kind of touched on it, but is it a must? No, it's not a must win. Should we be winning these next 2 games, and what does that then do for us if we do? Should be
winning the next 2 games without a doubt. But obviously, the spirit of Christmas has hit Deji a bit there when he's been more than a bit conciliatory and a bit, But I do expect us to win the 2 games. It's going to be hard tomorrow. It'll be easy on Sunday.
You think?
I mean, if you're anyone who saw the Norwich and Newcastle game last night,
that was awful.
At least there's only 1 relegation spot up for grabs.
Yeah, they're both teams awful. Both teams are awful.
So if we 4 points is the minimum for the next 2 games, but I want 6.
Yeah, I agree.
And I expect 6.
Thank you guys out there. I'm just going to say thank you all for watching. The fact that I wanted to do this show in about 20 minutes and we're now into 42 minutes just shows the level of conversation that we've had today. And I can only
Deji brought the fire. He promised it, and he brought it.
And he's on tomorrow as well. So yeah. I hope, for our sake, for Spurs' sake, and I'm saying this out there to the Spurs players who may or may not be watching, please win. Because you know what's going to happen tomorrow if we don't, and Deji's on tomorrow. That's one. Marlon needs to be on as well if that's the case. And then, yeah.
I'll try and be on as well.
You have to be on as well now, Sean. You've got to do, particularly as we've got score lines here. We have to look at that. There's a few more comments. There's a few more comments here. So we just have a look at some of these comments. So again, Harry Payne, Conte knows we need to get a different type of player into the club if the mindset is to change. Agree with that. Oxford Ham said, cheers, guys. I've enjoyed this. It's been fun. Can't wait to see Deji tomorrow from our own Jodi there. Lots of laughter. You know what I mean? People at Harry Payne, completely correct. Conte needs men, not babies. And the score, Everton 1-2. Oh, Everton 1, Liverpool 2. I was going to say it out, but yeah. I can't call them shitty pool because they're not. They're actually quite good. So, that being said, thank you for watching. Please hit that like button as I talked about at the beginning of the show.
Come on, you Spurs!
With that being said, as what they've just said, come on, you Spurs. Come on, PAXTON Road TV as well. Hit the like button for us. Smash that. We've had loads of people watching today. Thank you for joining us, even though there's games on. We appreciate that 100%. Yeah. Keep supporting us. Make sure you join us tomorrow. Win, lose, or draw, we will be here. And hopefully, if it's a win, we might just be, yeah, that was good. But it all depends on the performance. I think the performance is going to be more important for me. If we get a scrappy win, but we're dominated, it's not going to cut it for me. But a win's a win, as they say. So anyway, Deji, Sean, thank you very much. I look forward to tomorrow.
Yeah.
Come on, you Spurs, as they say. Come on, you Spurs. And I guess it's time to go.